Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are safe and healthy at your home. So, students, welcome back in your mathematics class for class 9th, chapter 8, quadrilateral. This is your revision 1. So, student, in this lecture, we will revise all taught concepts of chapter quadrilateral. In this lecture, we will revise definitions, type of quadrilaterals, theorems from 8.1 to 8.10. So students, today we will start our lecture, the definition of quadrilateral. Quadrilateral, a figure bounded by four line segments such that no three of them are parallel, or we can say that it is a closed two-dimensional shape which has four straight sides. The polygon has four vertices or corners. So the conclusion is quadrilateral is a figure bounded by four line segments such that no three of them are parallel, and it has four vertices, four angles, four sides as well. So students, quadrilateral is a closed plane figure, two-dimensional figure, or we can say that polygon, which is made by or area bounded between four line segments. If we will take an example of a quadrilateral A, B, C, D. So in this quadrilateral, we have four sides, four angles, and two diagonal AC and BD. They all are the parts of a quadrilateral, and we have four vertices as well: vertex A, vertex B, vertex C, vertex D. So students, these are the parts of a quadrilateral. Now, consecutive or adjacent sides. What are the consecutive or adjacent sides? The word consecutive or adjacent means back to back, after one another. So those sides have common point, or we can say that common vertex. We call them as consecutive or adjacent side. For example, AB and BC are the consecutive or adjacent sides because they have a common vertex B. Opposite sides, if they have no common endpoints, then we call them as opposite sides, like AB and DC, because in these two, between these two sides, nothing is common. Consecutive angles. Consecutive angles are those angles when they have a common arm. If two angles have a common arm, then we call them as consecutive angles. Opposite angles, if they do not have a common arm, then we call them as opposite angles. So students, in this if we will take an example of composite angles, angle A and angle B are the composite angles, but angle A and angle C are the opposite angles. So students, these are the proper parts of quadrilateral. Now the next important thing of quadrilateral is angle sum property of a quadrilateral. What is angle sum property of a quadrilateral? Angle sum property of a quadrilateral is this, that the sum of all four angles of a quadrilateral is equal to 360 degree. So we have a quadrilateral ABCD. We can prove that angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D, the sum of all those four angles are 360 degree. So we will do a small construction. Join AC. Now this AC diagonal convert this quadrilateral into two triangles. In both triangles, we applied angle sum properties, and now we have equation number 1 as well as equation number 2. After this, we will add equation number 1 and 2. What is this equation number 1 and 2? Angle sum property of a triangle. What is angle sum property of a triangle? That all three sides of a triangle, the sum of all three sides of a triangle is 180 degree. So students, after adding, we have a result that angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degree. This is angle sum property. So now student, next topic is type of quadrilaterals. Type of quadrilateral. First is parallelogram. A quadrilateral in which both the pair of opposite sides are parallel is called a parallelogram. When in a quadrilateral both opposite pair of the sides are equal and parallel, we call them as parallelogram. Both the condition are not necessary with together. If both pairs are parallel, then we called it as parallelogram. If both pairs are equal, then we called it as also a parallelogram. Properties of a parallelogram is the opposite sides and the angles are equal. Second, the adjacent angles are supplementary. Supplementary means the sum of those two angles which are adjacent is 180 degree. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. Second type of quadrilateral is rectangle. So student, what is rectangle? If one angle of a parallelogram is a right angle, then it is called a rectangle. We will compare all the definition with the help of parallelogram. So when in a parallelogram one angle is 90 degree, then we called it as rectangle, because we know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal, so and adjacent angles are supplementary, so all four angles are 90 degree. We called it as rectangle. Properties of a rectangle are: all angles are right angle, diagonals are equal, every rectangle is a parallelogram. Definitely every rectangle is a parallelogram. Third is rhombus. If two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are equal, because we know that in parallelogram opposite sides are equal. If two adjacent sides are equal, then definitely all four sides are equal to each other. Then we called it as rhombus. The properties of a rhombus are: all sides are equal, diagonals of rhombus intersect at right angle. Third property of a rhombus is diagonals bisect the angles of rhombus. And last, every rhombus is a parallelogram. Next diagram is square. So what is square and how we change from rectangle? If two adjacent sides of a rectangle, we know all rectangles are parallelogram. Now condition is, when two adjacent sides of a rectangle are equal, it means if two adjacent sides of rectangle are equal, it means all four sides are equal, because in rectangle also, like parallelogram, opposite sides are equal to each other. Then it is a square. Or we can say that if one angle of a rhombus is 90 degree, because in rhombus already all four sides are equal to each other. If we have to compare square definition with rhombus, then we called it as, if one angle in a rhombus is 90 degree, then we called it as a square. Now the properties of a square are: all angles are right angle, all sides are equal, all diagonals are equal. All means two diagonals, because we have two diagonals in any quadrilateral. Diagonals are equal, diagonals intersect at 90 degree and bisect angles of square also. So what he want to say, that diagonals intersect at 90 degree if two diagonals in a square cut each other at 90 degree, and they are not cutting each other, they are bisecting the angles of square also. Every square is a parallelogram, rectangle and a rhombus. Definitely every square has all the properties of a parallelogram, rectangle as well as rhombus. Next, fifth definition or fifth diagram is trapezium. What is trapezium? A quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite side is parallel, we called it as trapezium. We cannot compare this trapezium with a parallelogram, because in parallelogram both opposite pair of the sides are parallel. But in trapezium, only one pair of opposite side is parallel. We called it as trapezium. The condition of trapezium are: the parallel sides are called as the base of the trapezium. Second, the adjacent angles are supplementary. It means sum of the adjacent angles are 180 degree. We have a second type of trapezium, which is isosceles trapezium. If two known parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, then we called it as isosceles trapezium. It means when in a simple trapezium two known parallel sides of a trapezium are equal, we call it as isosceles trapezium. Properties of isosceles trapezium is: adjacent angles are supplementary, angles on the same base are equal, diagonals are equal in length. It means diagonals are equal in isosceles trapezium, not in a simple trapezium. Next definition or next diagram is kite. So what is kite? Kite is this: a quadrilateral in which two pair of adjacent sides are equal is called a kite. Kite is like a normal kite. In this diagram, we have two adjacent sides are equal to each other. This side is equal to this side is equal to this. The diagonal intersect each other at 90 degree. We know it is clearly visible. The diagonals intersect each other at 90 degree. Angle A and angle C are equal to each other, but angle D and B are not equal to each other. AO is equals to OOC. This bigger diagonal bisect this small diagonal, but this diagonal is not bisected. So DO or OB are not equal to each other. Diagonal BD bisect angle B as well as angle D. BD divides the kite into two congruent triangle, triangle ABD and triangle CBD. This is your kite. With this figure or diagram, all the types of quadrilateral are finished now. Now we will revise your theorems. So first theorem is theorem 8.1 is a diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. So what is given? A parallelogram is given and we have to prove that diagonal divides it into two congruent triangle. So we have a diagram, parallelogram ABCD, which is given to us. We have to prove that first of all we have to draw a diagonal AC. So this AC diagonal convert this parallelogram into two congruent triangle. We have to prove it. First triangle is triangle ABC and second triangle is triangle CDA. So we have to prove this. So first of all, because parallelogram is given, we can use all the properties of a parallelogram. First property is this, that opposite sides are equal and parallel. So BC and AD are parallel to each other and AC act as a transversal line for these two parallel lines. So definitely angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other because pair of alternate interior angle. Angle 3 and angle 4 are equal to each other with the same reason, and this side AC is common with both the triangle. So by which rule these two triangles are congruent to each other? We have to read congruence rule in one triangle only. In triangle ABC we took angle 1, angle 4 as well as this side AC. So angle side angle. So ASA. So that by ASA congruence rule we have both the triangles, triangle ABC and triangle CDA are congruent to each other. Now theorem second 8.2. In a parallelogram opposite sides are equal. So student, what is given? A parallelogram is given. We have to prove that opposite sides are equal. We can use all the properties of a parallelogram only, not opposite sides property. We have to prove this property in this theorem. So first of all we have to draw a quadrilateral ABCD. So in this quadrilateral we have to join a diagonal AC. What is given to us? A parallelogram is given to us. We have to prove that opposite side AB and CD are equal to each other and AD and BC are equal to each other. We have to prove this. So students, for the proof we have to apply congruency. So in triangle ABC and triangle ADC, in these two triangles, because parallelogram is given, so angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other. Why? Because of alternate interior angle. Why they are alternate interior angle? Because these two sides are parallel to each other and this is as transversal, so they are parallel to each other. Angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other, pair of alternate interior angles. Angle 3 and angle 4 are equal to each other because of pair of alternate interior angles. AC is equal to AC common. So that by ASA rule, congruence rule, we have both the triangles are equal, triangle ABC and triangle ADC. So students, AB and DC are equal to each other by CPCT, AD and BC are equal to each other by CPCT. CPCT means corresponding parts of congruent triangle. So student, this is your theorem 8.2. Now theorem 8.3. Theorem 8.3. If each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal, then it is a parallelogram. So what is given to us? Given to us is each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are equal. If we have a quadrilateral ABCD, so the opposite sides are equal to given. AB is equal to DC, AD is equal to BC is given. Then it is a parallelogram. We have to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. Again we construct a side diagonal, join AC and draw this diagonal. In that triangle ABC and triangle DCA, we took ABC and DCA. Now we need three elements for the congruency. First element, these two sides are equal to each other given, these two sides are equal to each other given, and this is common. So students, it is already given to us. AB is equal to DC given, AD is equal to BC given, AC is equal to AC common. So that by SSS congruence rule, we have both triangle ABC and triangle DCA are congruent to each other. Angle 1 is equal to angle 3 by CPCT. Angle 2 is equal to 4 also CPCT. But they are pair of alternate interior angle. If they are pair of alternate interior angle, hence lines are parallel. Hence line AB parallel DC and AD parallel BC. So ABCD is a parallelogram because we proved these opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are equal is already given. So it means both pair of the sides of a quadrilateral are equal and parallel. So definitely it is a parallelogram. Now theorem 8.4. Theorem 8.4 is, in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So what is given to us? First of all, we have to draw a diagram, a quadrilateral ABCD, in which ABCD is a parallelogram given. ABCD is a parallelogram. Opposite angles are equal. We have to prove that opposite angles are equal. It means angle A and angle C are equal to each other. Angle B and angle D are equal to each other. We can prove only one pair, and we can say that similarly we can prove second pair. So first of all, we have to draw a diagonal, join AC. Now in triangle ABC and triangle DCA, in triangle ABC and DCA, we need three elements for the congruency. AB is equal to DC, opposite sides of parallelogram. Angle 1 and angle 2, alternate interior angles. AC is equal to AC common. So that by SAS congruence rule, we have triangle ABC and triangle DCA are congruent to each other, so that angle D and angle B are equal to each other by CPCT. Similarly, we can prove that angle A and angle C are equal to each other. For proving angle A and angle C are equal to each other, we have to draw a diagonal DB and rub this diagonal. So student, this is your theorem 8.4. Now theorem 8.5. In theorem 8.5, if in a quadrilateral each pair of opposite angle is equal, then it is a parallelogram. If students, you are noted that theorem 8.2 and 3 are opposite to each other, converse to each other. Theorem 8.4 and 8.5 also converse to each other. In theorem 8.4, parallelogram is given and we have to prove that opposite angles are equal. But in theorem 8.5, opposite angles are equal given and we have to prove that it is a parallelogram. So students, we have a quadrilateral. First of all, we have to draw a quadrilateral ABCD in which opposite angles are given. It is equal. It is given angle A is equals to angle C, angle B is equals to angle D. To prove is, we have to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. For this, we will follow or start our proof with the angle sum property of a quadrilateral. What is angle sum property of a quadrilateral? That sum of all four angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degree. So students, we can replace any angle with the help of our given part. So we will take two adjacent angle A and angle B. So we have to replace C and D with angle A and angle B. So angle C is replaced by angle A and angle D is replaced by angle B. Now double of angle A plus double of angle B is equal to 360 degree. So students, now double of angle A plus double of angle B is equal to 360 degree. We will take 2 as common and then we will shift 2 to the other side. So angle A plus angle B is 180 degree. If in any quadrilateral sum of two adjacent angle is 180 degree, it means these two angles are supplementary. This is only possible when the both sides are parallel, and this is as transversal line because they are pair of co-interior angle. If two adjacent angles are supplementary, then we call them as co-interior angle. So that line AD parallel BC, similarly C plus B. Similarly, we can prove that angle C plus angle B is equal to 180 degree. Hence, line AB and DC are also parallel to each other. If both pair of the sides are parallel, ABCD is a parallelogram. So, this is your theorem 8.5. Now, theorem 8.6. Theorem 8.6 is the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. This is very important theorem. I also told this thing when we discussed this theorem first time. You have to focus on this theorem. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So what is given? First of all, we have to draw a quadrilateral. Student, you are seeing this thing that from beginning of the question, from beginning of the any theorem, we have to draw first diagram. Diagram is the compulsory in all geometry chapters. A parallelogram ABCD. What is given to us? ABCD is a parallelogram. We have to prove that diagonal bisect each other. It means cut each other at two equal parts. So AO is equals to OC and BO is equals to OD. We have to prove it. So for proving this, we have to take two triangles. So I choose two vertically opposite triangle AOB and triangle DOC. Now in these two triangles, we need three elements for the congruency. First of all, AB is equal to DC, opposite sides of a parallelogram. Angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other, alternate interior angle, because these two sides are parallel as well, because they are opposite sides of a parallelogram. Angle 3 and angle 4 are equal to each other with the same reason, alternate interior angle. So that by ASA congruence rule, we have triangle AOB and triangle DOC are congruent to each other. So AO is equals to OC, BO is equals to OD by CP/CT. So student, this is your theorem 8.6. Now theorem 8.7. Theorem 8.7 is again the converse of theorem 8.6. If the diagonals of a quadrilateral bisect each other, then it is a parallelogram. It means in this theorem it is given to us that diagonal of a quadrilateral bisect each other, and we have to prove that it is a parallelogram. So first of all, we have to draw a quadrilateral ABCD. Given to us, AO is equals to OC, BO is equals to OD. We have to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. So students, now in two triangle AOB and triangle COD, we need three elements for the congruency in triangle AOB and triangle COD. AO is equals to OC given, OB is equals to OD given, angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other, vertically opposite angle. So that by SAS congruence rule, we have both the triangles are congruent. So students, in these two triangles are congruent, so we can say that AB is equal to DC by CP/CT. Angle 3 and angle 4 are equal to each other by CP/CT. But they are the pair of alternate interior angle. Hence, line AB and DC are parallel to each other, so that ABCD is a parallelogram. Now theorem 8.8. Theorem 8.8 is a quadrilateral is a parallelogram if a pair of opposite sides is equal and parallel. So in this question is given that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram if a pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. It means we have a pair, only one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel, and we have to prove it as parallelogram. So what is given to us in a quadrilateral ABCD? AB is parallel to AB is equal to DC and AB is parallel to DC. One pair is equal and parallel is given. We have to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. So what is proof? We will take these two triangle ABC and triangle DCA. Now for the congruency, I need three elements. AB is equal to DC given, angle 1 is equal to angle 2 because of alternate interior angle, AC is equal to AC common. So that by SAS congruence rule, we have triangle ABC and triangle DCA are congruent to each other. So now AD is equal to BC by CP/CT. Angle 3 and angle 4 also equal to CP/CT, but they are the pair of alternate interior angle. If they are pair of alternate interior angle, then AD and BC are parallel to each other. If AD and BC are equal and AD and BC are parallel to each other, hence both pair of equal sides are equal and parallel, then we call them as parallelogram. And we already proved that in this quadrilateral two triangles are congruent also, so we call it as parallelogram. Hence ABCD is a parallelogram. So this is your theorem 8.8. Now theorem 8.9. Theorem 8.9 is important theorem midpoint theorem. The statement of midpoint theorem is, you have to learn this statement also. Sometimes in one marker examiner also ask a question that state the midpoint theorem. The line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and equal to half of it. So student, what is given? Given as ABC a triangle. E and F are the two midpoints of the side AB and AC. We have to prove that this side EF is parallel to BC and half of BC. So we have to draw a construction. Produce line segment EF to point D such that EF and EFD are equal to each other. Join DC in triangle. Now in triangle AEF and triangle CFD. Now we need three elements. So first element is AF is equal to FC. F is the midpoint of the given. Angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other, vertically opposite angle. EF is equal to FD by construction. So students, by SAS congruence rule, we have AFE triangle CFD are congruent to each other. Now AE and CD are equal to each other by CPCT, equation number 1. Angle 3 and angle 4 are also equal to each other by CPCT. E is midpoint of AB. AE is equal to EB. AE is equal to EB because E is midpoint given, but now we proved AE is equals to CD. So EB and CD are also equal to each other by equation number 1 and 2. And we proved angle 3 and angle 4 are equal to each other, but they are pair of alternate interior angle, so that CD parallel EB. Hence from the equation number 3rd, in this two sides are equal, and equation number 4th, in this the same sides are parallel also. So the quadrilateral EBCD is a parallelogram. If it is a parallelogram, then the opposite sides are also equal and parallel. It means ED is parallel to BC and ED is equal to BC. So definitely EF is also parallel to BC and EF is half of BC, because EF and FD are equal to each other by construction. So students, ED equal to BC, ED parallel to BC. So the part EF is also parallel to BC. F is the midpoint of the ED. EF and FD are equal to each other by construction. So ED is equal to, we can write it into the two parts, EF plus FD. It is also replaces with EF. So double of EF. Now ED is parallel to, ED is equal to BC. Double of EF is also equal to BC. EF is equal to half of BC. Hence we can we proved already EF is parallel to BC and EF is equal to half of BC. This is your midpoint theorem. Now theorem 8.10. Theorem 8.10 is the converse of midpoint theorem. The statement is, you can called it as converse of midpoint theorem, and you have to learn the statement of this also. The line segment drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle is parallel to the another side and cut third side at its midpoint. So what is given to us? Given a triangle ABC, one midpoint is given, and from this midpoint if we draw a line which cut the third line at point F, and it is given that this line is parallel to the second line. This is given. So triangle ABC, E is the midpoint of AB, EF parallel BC are given. We have to prove that F is the midpoint of AC. We have to prove that F is the midpoint of AC. So students, for this we have to do a construction through C. Draw CM parallel AB, extended EF, and let it cut CM at point D. We have to draw a line CM like this, that these two lines are parallel to each other, CM and AB, and EF cut at point D. So students, now proof of this theorem. In quadrilateral EBCD, ED parallel BC because it is given, EB parallel CD by construction. Hence, if both pair of opposite sides are parallel, then EBCD is a parallelogram. Then EB and DC are equal to each other. EB and DC are equal to each other, equation number 1. But AE and EB are equal to each other, equation number 2, because E is midpoint given of AB. Hence from the equation number 1 and 2, AE is equal to DC. Now in triangle AEF and triangle CDF, AEF and CDF, we need three elements for the congruency. AE is equals to CD, proved above. Angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other, vertically opposite angle. Angle 3 and angle 4 are equal to each other, alternate interior angle. So students, by SAS congruence rule, triangle AEF is congruent to triangle CDF, which is AF is equal to CF by CPCT. We proved that F is the midpoint of AC. So students, now today's homework, maths homework, revise all theorems and learn all the definitions of chapter number 8. Students, you have to revise all theorems in your rough notebook, practice all the theorems, written them in your rough notebook, and then send the pics of those theorems to me on my mail ID. Okay students, now the solution of lecture 5. Students, we already discussed first 5 question of exercise 8.2 from your NCERT of chapter number 8. Now question number 6th and 7th from your NCERT of chapter number 8, exercise 8.2. Question number 6 is, show that line segment joining the midpoints of the opposite sides of a quadrilateral bisect each other. So student, in this question we have to show that if we have a quadrilateral ABCD and midpoints are PQRS, and if we will draw the opposite sides of a joining the midpoint of the opposite side, it means RP and SQ, and we have to prove that they bisect each other. It means we have to prove that RP and SQ are bisect each other. It means RO is equals to OP, SO is equals to OQ. We have to prove it. So student, what is given? ABCD is a quadrilateral, PQRS are the midpoints of ABCD. So we have to prove that the diagonal which are joining the midpoints RP and SQ are bisect each other. It means we have to prove that RO is equal to OP and OQ is equal to OS. So students, if we can prove that this is a parallelogram, so we know according to the theorem 8.6 that the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So our motive is prove it is a parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram. So students, for the PQRS is a parallelogram, we have to apply midpoint theorem. It is very easy question. In triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints of the side AB and BC. According to midpoint theorem, PQ parallel AC and PQ is equal to the half of AC. So students, in triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoint of these two sides. According to the midpoint theorem, this line is parallel to AC and half of AC. Similarly, we can say that SR is parallel to AC and SR is half of AC. It means if these two sides are parallel to the same side and equal to the same thing, then they are equal and parallel to each other. Similarly, we can prove that RQ is parallel to DB and RQ is equal to half of DB. Similarly, SP is parallel to DB and SP is equal to half of DB. From the equation number 3rd and 4th, PQ is equal to SR and RQ is equal to SP. So students, now if in a quadrilateral PQRS both opposite pairs are equal and opposite, then we can say that PQRS is a parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram and the diagonals of a parallelogram are bisect each other. So this question is proved. Question number 7 is, ABCD is a triangle, right angle triangle at point C. A line through the midpoint M of the hypotenuse AB and parallel to BC intersect AC at point D. Show that. We have 3 parts to show what is given to us. First of all, a triangle ABC. In this triangle, angle C is 90 degree and M is the midpoint of the hypotenuse AB. M is the midpoint of the hypotenuse AB. So it means AM and BM are equal to each other. We have to prove that D is the midpoint of AC. First thing is this. D is the midpoint of AC. It means AD and DC are equal to each other. MD is perpendicular on AC. And third one is CM is equals to AM is equal to half of AB. So proof is, first of all, we have to prove that first part, that D is the midpoint of AC. Students, if M is the midpoint of AB is given, and it is already given that MD is parallel to BC. M is the midpoint of AB, and it is already given that MD is parallel to BC. Then according to the converse of midpoint theorem, D is the midpoint of AC. D is the midpoint of AC, hence proved. Now the second part. In second part, we have to prove that MD is perpendicular on AC. We know it very well that MD parallel BC. MD parallel BC. Angle C is equal to angle 1. But angle C is because of pair of alternate interior angle. But, sorry students, angle C and angle 1 is not alternate interior angle. They are the pair of corresponding angles because MD and BC are parallel to each other. So angle C and angle 1 are the corresponding angles. If angle C is 90 degree, then definitely angle 1 is also 90 degree. So angle C and 1, pair of the corresponding angles. Angle C is equals to 90 degree, 1 is also 90 degree, hence MD is perpendicular on AC. Now the third part of the question. In triangle ABC, join MC. In third part, we have to prove that CM is equals to AM and is equals to half of AB. Now we will take two triangles CMD and AMD. AD is equal to DC in part 1 proved. MD is equals to MD common. Angle 1 and angle 2 each 90 degree. So students, if you have any confusion, then please see in your diagram. Join MC. Now in these two triangle, this equal to this part proved. First part proved. MD common. Angle 1 and angle 2 both 90 degree. If 1 is 90 degree, then definitely 1 and 2 are the pair of linear angles. So the sum of these two angles are 180 degree. If 1 is 90 degree, then definitely angle 2 is also 90 degree. So students, by SAS congruence rule, we have triangle CMD is congruent to triangle AMD. If these two triangles are congruent, then the corresponding sides are equal. So students, CM and AM are equal to each other by CPCT. AM is equal to half of AB, half of AB. AM is equal to half of AB. AM is equal to CM, which is also equal to half of AB. So students, our third part is already proved now. Students, remember one thing, that you have to learn all the theorems. You have to give reason in each and every step of this chapter. You have to focus on the reason. Without reason, question is not complete. So students, try to focus and learn all the definition. Revise your chapter as well. Thank you. Have a nice day.